Hi and welcome. I am Jo from Jo's Paradise of Colour. In tonight's tutorial, this is a tutorial, been a while, I will be showing you how to spin a core spun with Angora Kid Mohair Locks. So I'm just trying to see if you can see the texture of this or if it's too bright. But I have already prepped almost 100 grams, which takes a very long time to separate all the locks and get them ready for spinning. This would have been probably 2 weeks worth of preparation. So I have kept a little tiny bit for me to show you how to separate the locks, and then I will be core spinning it on a 8-ply nude yarn. So this is merino. There's 100 grams of merino. So yes, you want to have a core yarn that's thick enough to grab the locks, because the locks are quite slippery. When finished, this should make something around an around 10 to 12 ply yarn. 100 grams, probably I might get around maybe 190, 250 meters roughly. So if you want a thinner yarn at the end and you want a little bit more meters, go a 4-ply. That'll make it up to a 8-ply when complete. I am keeping it all nude for the purpose of dyeing it afterwards. So that will be in another video. This video will take me probably it'll probably take me roughly maybe 4 days all up to complete this yarn. But I'm going to try get the video down to about 15-20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes. But I think majority of people prefer a smaller video. Just trying to fit a 4-day period into such a short video can be tricky, and I do end up losing a lot of chatter, a lot of you know, revealing and sometimes important information, because I just can't fit it all into one video. But I will try to keep the talking down to a minimum and try and share as much of the making as possible. So let's get into it. I'm going to prep the remaining amount of locks just to show you how to do it, and then I will start core spinning. I'm going to be using my Major Craft Rose for this one. This is a jumbo bobbin on my new flyer. It's got the big fat yarn loops or hoops. Took us a long time to find it in any of the shops, They don't really make them much anymore. It was a bit of a, took a bit of time finding it. But I need my little scissors. So when you get your lock, my dress is very slippery. Okay. When you get your locks, they'll come in a big chunk, and that is my chair. It will come into a big chunk like this. When you separate them from the actual bundle of fibre that you get, you want to cut the knotty ends. See how it just comes apart at the end there? Discard that. And chop off the end that's knotty. Don't know if you can't see that. I'm just teasing the locks out of that, the good locks. Just pull it apart at the center. See how it's a bit gross at the bottom? That's a bit knotty. It's going to stop you from being able to separate these locks properly. Just cut it there and discard the bottom. Sorry about my chair, it's a bit squeaky. And then go through and get rid of any VM, which is vegetable matter. Go to the top and pull down any gross knotty bits on the side. You can use that if you want. I don't like it. Then go from the top and pull apart each of the sections that come together. See how that's all knotty, and you pull that off. Now it's not, you can use that. Put it in your basket. So you just want to keep going through until you've got bits of lock that's pretty much like that in smaller sections. So when you add it to your core, it keeps the locks intact. You don't want to lose any of those locks. Like, you don't want it to turn into a just fibre without texture. So this will take you probably a couple hours to do, to separate those. It is up to you how thick you want your locks though. So that's all I'm going to do. But when you get a good amount, it looks pretty good. Nice and soft, and there's some really nice bits of locks in there. So I'm hoping when this is all being core spun that I'm going to have bits of lock sticking out on the sides. Core spinning yarn down the side, down the left side. If you are a right-handed person, and if you're left-handed, put it down on your right-hand side. Tie your core to your leader. You want to go as thick as you can, but as thin as you can. You just feed it on in between this finger, this finger, this finger. So you're holding on to the core thread in between these three fingers, okay? And you close those, but not too tight, so the core thread can still run through your fingers. You're holding the top of the core thread and the locks that you're feeding onto it between your thumb and on the underneath of your pointer. So when you're spinning, the locks are feeding onto the core. But I'm having troubles with the right speed, because once I stop, my tension goes a bit funny. And it sort of pulls too hard. See how it's thin on the top there? You just feed a little extra on. Let it do what it wants. You want a pretty locky yarn, not a very consistent yarn. And don't spin too fast or you'll lose the core thread. When you go to ply this, the finished single, some of those locks will come back out and you'll have more of a locky kind of uneven yarn. When your yarn relaxes. So when adding that, you put it underneath, in between the already core spun section that just ended, and then on top of your pointer. Then you put your thumb back on top to control it. Otherwise you're going to lose it. Oh my, when I pinch too hard on the core yarn, my wheel tension spins and doesn't catch. Always find the wheels pull on the core way too tough, like too hard for me. This is looking pretty cool. If you don't have a firm grip on this, you're going to lose it. And if you spin too fast, you're going to have a very over twisted yarn. For plying, I'm going to be using a silk thread. I've got a couple different types. I'll probably use the one with Nepps for texture. Come on, starting back up is hard for this wheel. Alright, so I'm done. I've just spun up 100 grams of Kid Mohair. core spun, and it's looking really cool. I will take some photos for you because this camera is a bit bright. So I'll take some photos for you before I start plying it, and then I will be using this one that's already open. I'm going to be using a very fine silk thread with Nepps with this one. That way when I do the dyeing, it's all going to dye together. I'm not going to have one colour for the plying and then the rest something else. So yes, stay tuned for part 2, and thank you for watching. Welcome back. This is part 2. This part here only took me probably about an hour to spin, so I was pretty impressed by that. I'm going to be plying this now, and it will set the super coil. So trying to think. So it doesn't fall apart. I am going to be plying this with a 100% Tussar silk. Actually, no, it's the Mulberry Silk, and it's got a little bit of Nepp. That's pretty fine, but yes, this is going to make it look pretty puffy with the locks, and bubbly, and really nice texture at the end. So I tie a knot to fasten it all together. I'm using a smaller bobbin for this one because I only have one of the super jumbos. This one's a jumbo. Oh, come on. Come on. Get on there. Now I just got to get the tension. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. To start off. I want it to pull, but not too quickly. I'm just going to ply it normal. I'm not going to make it into super coils, just so it's available to more people. This type of finish, you'll be able to knit with it, if I super coiled it, you would only be able to really weave with it. This is a lovely way to make a fat, chunky yarn also for the colder weather, which is about now. Making hats and scarves and other things. As you can tell, I don't make like anything other than weaving, so I was like repeating myself with what you could make with it, which is funny. If you have other ideas for this yarn, you can comment down below. Give us all a little bit broader ideas what you can use this for. Tension's pretty good. Look at that. It's not over twisted. Well, if you think that your yarn is a bit over twisted, you just ply it and it should come out, as long as you ply the opposite direction to what you spun your single as. Otherwise you're going to have a super mess, super twisted mess if you ply your single the same way you spun your single. If you want to make yarn for crochet, you finish your yarn going the other direction, which is clockwise. This is super texture. It is really cool. It's got a lot of big fat sections and thinner sections and a lot of Kid Mohair sticking out everywhere. Now for dyeing, you have to be very careful with mohair. It will felt very easy in the wash, so I will be gently dyeing this with the ice trick. However, because it's going to be probably in the heart of winter, I may have to try a different technique and use a spray bottle and spray the dye on to the yarn, and then steam it. That way, hopefully, it doesn't felt. I'm just feeding it. I'm letting it do whatever it wants. Might tighten that tension because it's not pulling hard enough. It's just feeding on. I don't want to tighten it too much that the super coil, oh not super, the core spun unravels on itself and then I lose it all together. So check the tension, the spring in the yarn. If it's too springy, you'll know about it. Just means you've got your tension turned up too high or too tightly. I might make more of this yarn. It's quite, well, the preparation of the locks takes the longest. It takes 2 weeks to do 100 grams. And only takes about maybe 2 hours or 1.5 hours to spin. See how that's bouncing around here? It is loosening up on me. You want it to be kind of firm, not loose. You don't want it ripping out of your hands. I'm coming to the end of it. And I've only been spinning for about 16 minutes. Stuck. It is stuck. Without trying to snap that, I'm going to try continue it. Oh, all tangled up here. And I'm at the end. Woo! Now, Kid Mohair is super easy to felt, so I don't have to do that crazy little trick I do with the super coils. All you have to do is tie a knot at the end, put it in between your hand and your other hand and rub it. It will felt the end of it. With the heat of your hands, it felts the end like so. The ends are what makers end up discarding anyway, so don't worry about it too much if it's unattractive. But this is so soft. It is so soft. Look how beautiful that turned out. It's a beautiful, soft, fluffy, thick yarn. Very thick yarn. So that's going to make something beautiful. Maybe something really close to your skin so you can actually enjoy it and appreciate it. So beautiful. I will skein it up and then I will take pictures for you of the finished product all skeined up. Thank you for watching and joining me for tonight's tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed it and learnt something new. And please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. I am going to be hosting a giveaway. The video should be up tonight, if not already. And so yeah, make sure you watch that and get your me pleasers in if you want to join. So yes, that's pretty exciting. We have reached 1,500 subscribers. Oh my god, thank you very, very much to everyone that has subscribed and followed me over the last 3 years. So yes, thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you would like to see more tutorials and vlogs, and bye for now.